this is your morning in 8 minutes. The suspect accused of shooting and killing a 4-year-old Roane County girl is due in court today.
A 25-year-old Brianna Runyon's accused of pressing a loaded gun to Evangeline Gunter's chest and shooting her. Runyon's claimed in the warrant that she was teaching the child about gun safety. She's now charged with first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse. Today's hearing is a status update set for 1 o'clock this afternoon. After that, a possible preliminary hearing, which could be waived. Eventually, that case will go before a Roane County grand jury.
The suspects in a deadly drag race down Magnolia Avenue are due in court today as well. This happened in January. 2 children were critically hurt and their grandfather died in the crash. Police say Trinity Clark and Trishawn Glass were racing 2 Dodge Chargers down East Magnolia Avenue and ran a red light, hitting a Ford Explorer. 65-year-old Michael Williams and his 2 grandchildren, Hadley and Gage, were inside that car. Williams died while Hadley broke her neck, jaw, pelvis, arm, and hurt her lungs. Her brother Gage broke his pelvis as well. Clark and Glass were initially charged with drag racing and felony reckless endangerment. Both now face vehicular homicide charges. And a youth soccer game canceled over the weekend after parents and police say someone shot a gun near the field. This happened at the Emerald Youth Soccer Complex off Texas Avenue. The game was immediately canceled. Everyone evacuated. KPD says they responded to shots fired calls but found no victims and no damage. A similar incident happened around 3 weeks ago at the same field where parents and players had to lay on the ground as they say several shots were fired. That game also canceled with an immediate evacuation. A Cott County man suspected of murder is now in jail this morning after police say he led them on a chase. The sheriff's office says David Moore shot and killed his neighbor, Mark Burnham, Sunday morning on Basinger Road. Deputies say they found Moore in Newport yesterday morning. Deputies say Moore then led them on a chase that ended in a crash. Moore is currently charged with first-degree murder. And Knoxville City Council will meet tonight. Council set to vote on making changes to Knoxville's Police Advisory and Review Committee. State lawmakers passed a law earlier this year to set statewide standards for police accountability boards. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 o'clock in the City-County Building's main assembly room. City leaders are now making a plan for the first liquor stores in Sevierville. City leaders went through several details planned for the new businesses last night. Right now, the closest liquor store is either in Knoxville or Gatlinburg. An official vote on restrictions for liquor stores and where to put them will take place sometime in the future. Well, the Powerball jackpot keeps on rising. Nobody won the grand prize last night. Now the jackpot for tomorrow night's drawing, an estimated $672 million. That cash value of just north of $320 million. That jackpot is a big one. While no one won the jackpot, a ticket sold in Massachusetts matched 5 numbers to win $1 million. Your overall odds of winning the Powerball aren't great, 1 in 292.2 million, but the odds of winning some kind of prize in there across all tiers, about 1 in 25. The Knoxville Songwriters Association's 40th anniversary concert is happening tonight. The free public concert gets started at 5:30 at the Fountain City Library on Stanton Road. The concert will feature original songs and highlights from the group's 4 decades of helping local songwriters develop their musical talents. And Variety of Eastern Tennessee hosting its annual golf tournament today with special guest Tennessee baseball head coach Tony Vitello. The tournament gets underway this morning at Willow Creek Golf Club. Proceeds from the event help Variety continue its mission to assist at-risk, physically challenged and neglected children in East Tennessee. This morning, President Joe Biden is preparing to address the United Nations General Assembly in New York City. The gathering of world leaders comes as tensions remain high over the war in Ukraine. The president is expected to continue rallying support for Ukraine in its war with Russia. And Hunter Biden's legal team filed a lawsuit against the IRS for the alleged unlawful release of his private tax details. Attorneys claim that 2 agents violated Hunter Biden's privacy rights when they disclosed his tax information during media interviews, including with CBS News. Hunter Biden was indicted last week on federal charges related to his purchase of a firearm in October of 2018 while he was a drug user. 5 American citizens who were wrongly detained inside Iran will arrive back in the U.S. after months of secret diplomatic talks. As part of the deal, the U.S. released close to $6 billion of frozen Iranian oil funds. Republicans expressed concern about the money headed to Iran, a state sponsor of terrorism. In addition to releasing the funds, President Biden also granted clemency to 5 Iranians who were facing charges in the U.S. for nonviolent crimes.
And the United Auto Workers announced a new Friday deadline in the strike that the union is waging against the big three automakers. The UAW says Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler parent Stellantis have not made substantial progress toward what they call a fair agreement. The UAW is currently seeking a 36% raise over 4 years, as well as a job and cost of living protections. The union rejected offers from Ford, GM, and Stellantis centered around a 20% raise. So far, just 3 plants have been targeted.
Talks are resuming this week between the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. This comes after a month-long hiatus. WGA sent a message to members yesterday confirming the meeting. The two groups last met in August, and nothing of substance came out of that meeting. The strike now has lasted 140 days.
It is 6:54. Let's get to Kristen now, and she's got a look at your first alert traffic.
Yeah, I'll take a live look here at 640 eastbound at that accident we've been following all morning. An overturned tractor trailer across 2 lanes, all lanes of 640. You can see traffic's moving along on that left-hand shoulder as the sun comes up and that morning rush gets underway. We're keeping an eye on this for you, but it is causing significant delays. This is just west of where the accident happened. You can see traffic backed up for a couple of miles. So we'll keep that on an eye on that for you. So far, that's really the only delay that we're seeing in your morning commute, but except for there on 640, that's really the only backup that we're seeing so far. Taking a quick look at your drive times, I-75 south from Raccoon Valley Road to 640, you're moving along 7 minutes along that route there, and then 640 west from I-75 to 40, you're moving about 3 minutes.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
6:55 now as we start the day off feeling that taste of fall in the air. I know a lot of folks are mentioning you're already seeing some fall color. Remember, we always get some early season trees to change. For example, tulip poplars, our state tree. Those are usually one of the first to start changing color. But really, when we get into more nights in the 40s, that really triggers most of those trees to start changing. So also bringing those days into the 50s or 70s and then the 60s. So we got to get that overall cooler pattern to set up. So over the next month, we're really going to find some more change to be found. And that good rainfall we've had for the year will help the tree color be more vibrant. So right now we're still sitting at a surplus. We need to get some more rain through here to keep that going. Right now we're also on that cooler side. 55 Knoxville to 53 in Middlesboro. You're at 48 in Jamestown and 50 Crossville. Just remember, we do have those areas of dense fog. This would be one thing to give you some pause here as you're getting out the door, with some spots making it a little harder to see in the valley, and then that widespread fog at the Tennessee-Kentucky line. We are tracking at least those warmer days still in the 80s today. I've got that forecast where you live coming up on the CW, plus a track of the rain chances ahead as well.
It feels so good to see fall on that 8-day plan.
Officially, it's